Do you want to do a podcast? We make a darn good team. It always goes without a hitch. Let's head to Twitch and go start up the stream. Do you want to do a podcast? It's the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Let's start now. Hi everyone and welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast. Come?
All right, I'll do my own bits myself.
Oh wait, no silence.
We're doing it. Get off the road.
Hey Dave,
Hey, Boater.
how do you confuse a non-binary person?
It depends on what kind of non-binary person they are, but do go ahead.
01001100011011001 sorry 011010101010010001000 011010100100001
Please tell me that translates to Welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast.
It translates to like this.
I was going to say, for more
I would
than...
not have gone through the full binary for Welcome to the Nerd Glasses Podcast.
We would be here for a longer time than we have this evening.
Yes.
This is Nerd Glasses Light, the speed round.
Yes, welcome to the shotgun edition of Nerd Glasses. This is your shotgun podcast here. Actually, it would be
It's
really
like
funny
New
if
Coke. If you like it better, make sure to tell the ownership.
Actually, it would be really funny if we ever did something remotely from Vegas or something to call it a shotgun podcast. Anyway, yes, welcome. I'm Boater.
I'm Dave Mann.
And welcome again to New Look Podcast, temporarily joining us with the cruise day on this, the most auspicious of Tuesdays, 2/22/22, which our computer is still booting up because it wanted to be reassured what the date was in its BIOS, apparently.
I will say, in honor of Tuesday, I also think that Jackson and Luke took that to heart because they didn't have just 2 wins in Fortnite. They didn't have just 22 wins in Fortnite. It feels like every time Steve and I looked up at that television, and every time I looked over at Jackson, they were getting a win screen. So, could be 2022 wins. Could be.
Could be.
But would not be a surprise.
Awesome. Cool. So, yeah, welcome everyone to Nerd Glasses. We've got a funky night ahead of us. We're going to do what we can. We're not sure if we're going to end at 9 or if we're going to go an hour. We'll just take it as it goes. We'll try not to dally on topics, but you know how it goes. We've been live for 5 minutes already. Dave, do you want to hear something about Twitch bans?
I would love to hear something about Twitch bans, Boater.
Well, fortunately, I have nothing interesting.
You mean to tell me that Dr. Disrespect
Son of a
didn't
bitch.
take a dump in the last 4 months?
I wanted to, just tear off the top of the sheet, but it tore my whole thing in half.
He didn't sneeze. This is our usual. We're gonna make it quick, but let's not take out any of the bits out.
Yeah, no. Some ASMR streamer deep-throated her mic, another didn't wear enough clothes and then complained, but Amaranth gets away with it, even when she sort of kind of doesn't. Yeah, just
She does not get away with it.
She doesn't. Yeah, no. So, yeah, just nothing particularly interesting on the Twitch ban front today, which is great considering how we're doing on time. So,
I appreciate, first of all, the facial expression that our producer made when you just casually went through the list of things you had seen. Both you and myself were a little bit like, oh, that's a certainly choice to make while you're live.
I mean, she put it in her mouth. She didn't, I'm not going to. It's fine. Hey, Dave, what's coming out this week?
I'm really genuinely excited about the games that are coming out in the next 7 days. I will try to abridge the
that's
usual...
fine. You go ahead and do that. I need to go blow my nose, so you go ahead and keep talking.
The first game is one of gaming history. It is... Okay, nope.
For those of you who wanted to see it on camera... I realized I should have been louder about that. That was a reenactment.
Yes, I will throw it. Well, good night, folks.
Do not throw it to the computer, David. Gonna have to intercept and probably hurt something. David, throw it here. David, I'm open.
Computer! You know who likes to fly across the room, though? Conspiracy Baseball, appearing on a future program.
Oh my God! Do not throw conspiracy baseball to Steve today.
What if I wanna? So, even though we are having an abridged episode this week, we did manage to beg Steve to allow us to have usage of the trademarked Nerdivision.
Well, it's not there yet. Okay, now it is.
One of a franchise that is everyone's favorite, whether they realize it or not. The Final Fantasy franchise got a Pixel Remaster, and I've talked about these games coming out just as a refresher for everyone. Pixel Remaster was the intention of Square Enix to make games that were accessible on the PlayStation 1, the Super Nintendo, the Famicom, and put them in a centralized location. PC and mobile, because if you buy it on iOS, as long as you have an iOS device, no matter what era it is, you have that game. Yes,
as
there's
long
logistics
as they keep
to it,
updating the game
but,
and its hardware compatibility and blah.
Yes, but in the case of Final Fantasy, that game does not have a special hardware accessibility, and Square Enix is not going to just pull the IP because it's money for them to make, and they like that.
Yeah, and it's Final Fantasy, as opposed to, side note here, Square Enix announced that Guardians of the Galaxy, which was one of the most popular games last year, nominated for a lot of Game of the Year, they announced that it didn't meet sales expectations, and so far devs haven't started getting their revenue sharing cut that they would get after whatever expected amount. Square Enix pulls this on everything not Final Fantasy. This is why we haven't gotten a third Deus Ex game. This is why we haven't gotten another game of the Tomb Raider reboot. Square Enix sucks about that shit, but this is Final Fantasy, so they're going to keep plugging that till the sun goes nova.
So, the one big thing to come from this is that in the preview, and it's happened in the video above me, you'll notice that the hero, Sabin...
Dave, it's not above you. We're above you. It's above me.
Used in the video, does the suplex to the ghost train, but you'll notice that the suplex is incorrect, as the train merely goes up and back down and takes damage. No! That will not stand, and it will be patched for day one so that the train is properly suplexed and does, in fact, become upside down when Sabin does his power move on it.
Wonderful.
This
is the kind of accuracy that we strive for.
Final Fantasy VI coming out on the 23rd for Windows, iOS, and Android. Bigger game, much more exciting. Right here. See it? He picked it, and it goes up, and they fixed it so that it does, in fact, invert itself. Whereas in previous videos, it just went up and down, and everyone went, hey, that's not a suplex. But the 25th, this Friday, is going to be a very busy day. Firstly, it is the birthday of the network commissioner, Mike himself. So a preemptive happy birthday to you from Nerd Glasses. And a happy birthday will be wished to you on your actual birthday, as is customary. But this Friday is not only the creation of one of the wettest people on the network, but also the release of a game that has been lauded as the second coming of things you want on your system. You want it now, and you'll pay good daddy money to get it. That, of course, is Elden Ring, a game from Software that is a collaboration with a vaunted and yet artist that's gained a lot of what would be a great word for villainous notoriety? What's
I mean, notoriety generally has a negative connotation,
yes.
But both God, I can't think of it right now, unfortunately. Someone that is both revered as well as reviled.
Yes, thank you. So, this character being the personage of George R.R. Martin. Where are the books, Martin? Where are the books?
Oh, he's got plenty of books, just not the ones people have been looking for the past 20 years.
Yeah. He has time, though, however.
He's put out 3 prequels. He's done other projects. Like, I don't begrudge the man having other things he wants to work on, too, but if you don't want to make the last books of A Song of Ice and Fire, just say so.
Yeah. People will get mad.
Because your fans are fucking insufferable.
The ones that survived the TV show. Let's be honest. Many people rightfully did say, well, this was bad, and I feel like I was wasted. But George R.R. Martin did, in fact, work on the setting of this game.
Yeah,
overall.
so he didn't do the like writing of the script and whatever, but he did the world building
Yes,
for it.
which he is quite good at.
Oh,
And
yeah.
he has interesting ideas.
And the thing is that I enjoy world building and I enjoy writing, but I don't always have a story to go with everything. I've got a great world that I like to play in, but
Yeah.
I've got like half-finished things because I'm like, great, this is a cool situation to put them in. I don't know how the fuck they get out of here. I don't know how to keep it interesting for another 200 pages. So world building, yay! And yeah, like looking at Song of Ice and Fire, he's great at world building. So that's what he lent to this. I saw something that was talking about this, which I believe is the opening cinematic. No, it's not the opening cinematic, but something like that. That it's just like, yeah, here's these 4 paragraphs. It is all the hallmarks of George R.R. Martin and From Software. A whole lot of proper nouns, not a whole lot of actual exposition.
Which I'm fine with. From Software really doesn't do a lot of exposition unless
they
you
don't
really
really-
seek it out.
Yeah, like the story in their games feels almost optional. You can just play through and bash stuff, and they're not
Yep.
like, here's what's happening.
Yep.
But you can find what's happening if you really
Oh,
want.
absolutely. This game, Elden Ring, coming out PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and X, and for the Windows on the 25th. The Windows, the Wii, the Nintendo. But I am
old,
looking
David.
forward to this one.
Getting old.
It is not a game I will necessarily purchase outright, just because, damn it all, I'm so stuck in Sifu that I just couldn't add another 14-layer game, unless people say they want to see me play it, in which case, ha-ha! But
That's
the
how they get you.
big change in this game, by the way, is the fact that the stamina bar was absent in Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. It is back now in this From Software title.
Okay, okay.
The third game is for those of you out there that
Really
crave-
quick welcome to Demon Dragon and Mr. Mod Josh in chat. How you guys doing tonight?
The third game is for the people that seek high octane, people that seek out anything with 4 wheels. On the same day that Elden Ring is releasing, in a very brave move, they're racing Grid Legends for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5,
Interesting.
PC, Series X, S, and the Xbox One. A racing game, by the way, that is cross-platform to PC and console.
Nice.
Unlike a lot of other games out there. But
I
this-
really like... So, I tried to play Grid 2, and it didn't really grab me, but Grid 1 was my jam for so much. A few years ago, I tried to do a 24 Hours of Le Mans
Yeah.
race in Grid in real time for St. Jude. We crashed after the second hour, so we did a 12-hour race after that, so it was a 14-hour stream.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, exactly. This one looks to be quite literally the game of anything on 4 wheels, and they have every single car fandom that is not intellectually locked behind other things represented.
Yeah, so they'll have like open wheel racing in general, but not necessarily F1. They may have like stock car, but not like recognizably NASCAR.
Yes. And they will also have tuner cars, which, to be totally honest, Steve and I might just go halvesies on a copy to have here in the store to play, just so that I can bump out some really crap vehicle and race it for 2 minutes and then go ha ha ha. But that is Grid Legends on the 25th, releasing knowing that there are people out there that are looking for a challenge, but not a difficulty challenge, as they would if they're seeking out Elden Ring.
Yeah, the Grid is can be hard, but it is very it's not very arcadey in its handling. It's not Mario Kart, but
Yeah.
it is not a sim like Forza, Gran Turismo, Project Cars kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one of my favorite game types in the original Grid was Demolition Derby.
Fair.
Give me a old beat-up car, and I'll beat it up even more. Those cats look sweet. Yeah, so cool. I'm
You've
interested
never heard
to see how that goes. I
person
will
in the
definitely-
car industry talked about cars as cats? Those cats look sweet driving down the
If you
boulevard.
guys end up going halvesies on a copy, I may want to borrow it to see if it hooks me in the same way. If it does, then I will definitely get a copy for myself. Have you tried Wreckfest? I have not. I will have to check that out.
Is good. It's very good.
Anything else coming out in the next 7 days that we're keeping an eye on?
That for right now is our 7 days
Our 7-day forecast,
our
everybody.
7-day forecast of wetness in gaming coming your way. Did we miss any out? Let us know in the comments down below. And as always, during our program and things like that, make your voice heard because it's our reporting, but it's your story.
Speaking of newsy forecast and being all like news desk type stuff, do we have any updates on Danbury, or have things been blessedly quiet in town?
Things have been, Boater, I'm getting a note from our producer. Things have been relatively quiet in Danbury. Not many events going on. There is still a little bit of residual destruction from Hurricane Koski coming through last time, but nothing else to report upon in Danbury.
Okay, and I'm getting tinnitus. Go ahead and continue. What have you been playing the past week? I know you've been playing a ton more Sifu on stream. What else have you been up to?
So much fun. Sifu is so much fun. That game is so hard and it is so good. Valheim with Love Alec on his Monday streams have been having a great time. It's actually really convenient. I have Danny NASCAR open on one screen. I have Valheim open on the other. So I get to watch Steve, Mike, and Dan crush it as they do. And then I'm over here watching me squish things with a mace and feeling really good about it. Was there something else I started playing recently? Pokemon, as always.
Yep.
I've been a little quieter on it just because there's many people that are way further than me, and it doesn't make sense to just hear you going, "Yeah, me too." But you know, and so things. Steve, what you choose to do on the racetrack is between you guys. I don't own an Xbox One to be able to play, so. I'll keep the many NASCAR characters I've created over the years in pit lane shouting at the chat bar. But
so
yes,
what you're saying
I've
is
had
on
those two.
on one of these Denny NASCARs, you need to come over to my place and log in on the stream, where I have the Xboxes.
Yee-hoo!
Yeah,
Coming like hot in the Millennium Falcon, just wreck somebody at first, get kicked, and then get mad about it. So between Sifu and Legends Arceus, I've been enjoying those immensely, and Valheim as well. How about you, Boater? What have you been up to?
Last week I mentioned a couple things that I couldn't quite talk about yet that I am able to talk about now, and the first of those is The Wandering Village. I talked about this when I first started beta testing it back in December, and I said I couldn't talk much about the game because beta test is under NDA. Well, right now it is Steam Next Fest. Actually, today is the second day of Steam Next Fest. The demo is out and available for everybody to play, and I got the ability starting early on the 17th to be able to share gameplay of that. And so what's going on over here, this is actually the 6th and final episode of my playthrough of that. It came out today, youtube.com/boaterbug. But yeah, like, I don't want to dwell too much on it, but it's been really, really fun to play. And like right now, the game is kind of hard as it stands. For those just tuning in, all of these, little guys that are building the city here, you're on back of that giant creature called Onbu as you go throughout the land trying to avoid poisonous spores, trying to make sure that everyone has enough food. And there's different biomes. So like right now there's a farming system where you need a unit of water to plant a crop. And if you're in the desert, you can't get any water. Your air wells to consolidate water from the air can't get any, so you have to rely on sending out expeditions to go get some out at resources. And so like there's resource crunch like that. Poison is something that like I've played the game a fair amount, so I don't have too much of a problem with it. I just shut down half my city and say, guys, take care of it now, go. But the community is really active. A lot of people are coming in on Discord and giving their feedback, saying that it's really tough dealing with poison. And so, we'll see if that gets nerfed, whatever. But I just love the game so much. The art is gorgeous. It's a really cool blend of 2D and 3D. I kind of can't wait until the demo is done because I'm still in the beta test. And once the demo is done, like right now the demo ends at 35 days when there's a huge pollen storm that you wander into. And the beta test is also limited to that right now because we spent the last few weeks at making sure that everything was ready for the demo. And now it's like, all right, I want to keep playing after that though. I want to be able to replace all my roads with stone roads so they go like zoom. There's the buildings that are locked for the demo that I really want to get to.
Are you going to be able to continue your demo save as the actual game? Have they confirmed that, or is the demo separate?
So it's going to be separate. But because let's say that the game comes out in July, it's currently slated on Steam for a spring to summer 2022 release. That might be released into early access, or that might be a full release, I'm not sure. But there's going to be so much that changes that would break a game save anyway. Most of the time that there's a new big patch pushed out onto the beta, this will break your game saves, you got to go over again. But right now, my game on that was just over 3 hours. It's not a huge thing to go in and try again. It's not like you've dumped 30 hours into a Cities Skylines game and then you want to try and update and oops, my save is broken, I got to start from scratch. Let's see. My roommates are so confused that there are 2 boaters. I mean, I'm excited that there's 2. Actually, if you count the photo, there's 3. It might be a stream where you count boater. I'm not sure. Welcome, More Like Rigor Mortis and roommates. How are you all doing today? I'm live down here. This is pre-recorded, and that's a photo from 3 or 4 years ago. So, but yeah.
Oh my God, is it 5 years ago?
It might have been.
Ooh.
I think it was 2018. Because 2017 you ended up helping me on stuff, and then we did that when we were planning on working together on one the year after that.
Yes. Yes.
So that is a 4-year-old photo. Anyway.
Voterception. So that game is a lot of fun. I did in fact tune in to youtube.com/voterbug, and I watched all 6 of the episodes.
And I tried my best to show off a lot of the features of it.
Yeah.
Like for the fact that in episode 5, where I had a chance to go into poison or not into poison, I said, look, I got to show off how poison works. Sorry, big guy, we're going up into the poison so I can show how it works.
You know what, Boater? I do got to call you out for something, though. I do got to call you out for something in this. There was an upgrade that was offered to you, and you clicked on it, and you looked at it, and you went, oh, it, like, recycles his blood or whatever.
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm not going to do that. That'll hurt him. But I'll research it anyway.
I mean, at that point, my researchers weren't doing anything. May as well throw it in the queue. It's not like I was getting points, whatever. That's going to restart it. Don't even worry about it. We decided that they're all boater variants, and we're looking for alligator boater. Ah! I love it.
I will say, speaking of being called out, any choice of rebuttal on some things that happened recently here on the network?
True. Actually, as I was more or less just getting out of work and have about an hour to go before I make my way up here, I got a notice that Dan said something on Behind the Counter. And I just had to put something together, and I could just try to respond here, but instead I will let the receipts speak for themselves. Steve, if you could do me the honors.
Hey, Boater, guess what we just sold? ReCore!
What is that supposed to be?
I gotta give my ding to Boater every episode.
Why is that a ding?
Did you not love that game? It's like
that's like good then.
He loves ReCore.
Dan, I'm going to stop you right there. I did not, in fact, love ReCore. I tried to play it on my own at one point, and I just couldn't get into it. And I did end up playing it with Dave. That was the only way I could finish it, was by having someone to commiserate with. So did I love ReCore? Well, let's see exactly what I said about the game. Let's go to the receipts, episode 36 of Boater Plays Something, ReCore, Journey's End, featuring Dave.
So that was ReCore. ReCore is not a good game.
No.
It's an okay game.
Yeah.
And it's got some good concepts, but ReCore is not a good game.
I bet you did. I bet you a Boater go back, or if we make a clip and post this, I bet you Boater's offended.
I'm not offended, Dan, but I guess I do have a response for you from the same episode.
Of course, the final reward is a bald man. Of course it is.
Bald. So bald.
Bald.
Dave, I think the receipts spoke for themselves, but I don't know if there was anything you wanted to add when it comes to the discussion of the game ReCore.
I mean, that game has permanently scarred me forever. I have a really nice poster of the two of us hanging up in the hallway of my shit shack apartment that I will cherish forever.
Violet was your friend.
No, Violet. No, God. Well, anyway, good night, folks.
Your favorite character ever.
It's like, but I will even dare say that I think that our playthrough of that helped drive sales of ReCore. I'll dare say it because we're the only people that have said the words ReCore out loud since the game released.
Yeah, it's like my whole thing with the Citadel is that I play games that aren't bad, but aren't necessarily good. Like the idea, and it's not always like this. Sometimes we play some really good stuff, but it's stuff that got like mixed reception, and then we're going to see how it is. The reason I came up with that concept is because of ReCore, because that is a perfect Citadel game. If I was playing that on my own, I would be giving it so much garbage. The only reason it was even
played
playable,
on the Citadel?
What?
Did ReCore get played on the Citadel?
No, it didn't. It was
Okay.
it was just played on this. And the only reason it was even halfway playable is because we use that accessibility feature where two controllers act as a single controller, with Dave switching weapon modes for me. There's no way I could have been doing that smoothly in combat on just one controller.
Especially in the heavier combats where there's multiple colored enemies all at once.
Yeah.
Like it's fun if you're playing with the right people. But it's a bad game.
Well,
it's a very bad game.
It's like The Room is fun to watch with the right people, but it's a bad movie. The Star Wars Holiday Special is really fun to watch with the right people and the right booze, but it's bad. ReCore isn't Star Wars Holiday Special bad, but it's not an enjoyable game going in solo. So, no, Dan, I did not love ReCore. Really quick before we get to news, I watched the Uncharted movie this past weekend.
Nice.
And I know critics have been kind of pooping all over it. I will say I enjoyed the movie. Tom Holland was great. I enjoyed Mark Wahlberg. I already forget the actor names for the rest. I think everyone in the cast did well. The story was fine. The story was one of these, common Indiana Jones kind of things. You follow this breadcrumb trail to that. There's a set piece here. It gives you a clue to go here, and there's a set piece here, and it gives you a clue to go here.
Yeah.
Perfectly serviceable. Perfectly fine. I don't like it's not the next coming of Indiana Jones, and that's fine. Of course, one of the sponsors for the movie was Hyundai. I work at a Hyundai dealership, so I'm like, that's a nice Tucson. I know you're advertising the Tucson XRT, which is the off-road vehicle, which I'm off the clock now, so I can say this. The XRT, it has different rims on it, and it has kickboards on the sides. It doesn't have better suspension. It doesn't have better engine. It has nothing for off-roading. I don't even think it has better tires for off-roading. It's just, it looks more like an off-road vehicle that's still going to be on pavement going to Hannaford to get groceries. Here they put it on like bigger wheels, knobbier tires, gave it a snorkel, big old fender flares. It pulls halfway out of a parking spot, and then in the next scene it pulls into a parking spot in front of an apartment. Good job of the off-road vehicle, everybody! And then there were a couple of Genesis luxury vehicles. So the entire time I'm like, I would have used a G90 for that guy and not a G80. Okay, interesting choice.
So the film itself was not like as bad that everyone's saying it is. It's not unwatchable, and
yeah, it was fine. I enjoyed it.
It was an action film.
Yeah, it was an action film. It was a popcorn
film.
film. It was a good popcorn film.
I actually made it out to the movies this past weekend. And I saw a movie that, to be totally honest, almost got myself thrown out of the previous movie when they announced it. Because although here on the program I play someone that's very overexcited and not very educated, I really enjoy the literary works of Agatha Christie. If you don't know who I'm talking about, buy a Poirot novel, you'll thank me later. She writes very good murder mysteries. They are so much fun. And the film Death on the Nile, which just came out, is no exception. It
Nice.
was a great story. It is so fantastically acted. And I did not realize that Gal Gadot was... I'd forgotten that Gal Gadot was in it.
Okay.
So
yeah.
when she revealed herself, myself and Joe both went, ha, Wonder Woman. And the character that she plays...
I play a buffoon, but I'm actually an educated Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Stereotypes
So-
exist for a reason.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I exist in a certain box, and I'm glad for that box, but keep your labels to yourself, fucknuts.
I exist in multiple contradictory boxes. Here we go.
So, I will say part of the reason that I enjoy Agatha Christie's writing and the films that have come over, or the made-for-TV films that the BBC made, are the fact that, unlike other murder mysteries where you, the viewer, are seeing absolutely everything that all the characters see and in the characters' heads and hearing their inner dialogue and all these things, Poirot is a master detective. You, the viewer, are not. And so there are things that Poirot sees in the proceedings and knowledge that he has that you are not necessarily given in the way that Poirot has perceived it.
Okay.
A way of making it so that there isn't that moment when he goes, by the way, the murderer was this person, and everyone goes, I called it. Like, the story itself, it presents you with the puzzle pieces. It does a great job of telling a story, but you, the viewer, are just that. The viewer, and you are there to be a part of the story and to take part in it, to see it, but not to be able to have seen the writing on the wall in so many words.
Okay.
And I really enjoy that about Agatha Christie's work. Highly recommend any of her novelizations. I can highly recommend the book Black Coffee. It's a stage production that was then turned into a book.
Okay.
So check those out.
Very cool. Okay. Let's dive into some news topics.
Oh yeah.
We started pretty late. We're gonna try to end sometime between 9 and 9:15. And we'll see how this goes. NFT roundup. We'll just dive right in. A hacker stole NFTs worth anywhere from $1.7 million to $200 million, depending on who you ask.
Oh no! How could this happen?
Phishing.
But Boulder, they're non-fungible tokens. It's
Dave, this is some new contract type thing that you don't need to look at the particulars, but it's needed for still using OpenSea, which is the most centralized place that deals with NFTs. Just sign that as you normally would any other thing that comes into your wallet.
Okay.
All right. And you have just signed your hat over to me.
Oh no, Dan has signed his hat away to you. You can have Dan's Michael Jordan hat.
It's not here, so I'm taking yours anyway. It's not the terms that you thought it was. That's how it happened. There was like, it was some sort of insertion of like, here's a thing, put into your crypto wallet. You can have this one back if you really want. But like some sort of thing, like it's assumed to have been a phishing scam that was like something that, you know, OpenSea is getting blamed by some people for some sort of security thing. They're like, yeah, no, that wasn't us. It's pretty much assumed that it was a phishing scam of some sort of smart contract bullshit, one thing or another. Someone stole a ton of NFTs. I think the most commonly agreed upon number is 2.9 million.
No.
$2.9 million worth of NFTs.
No.
Some of which was like then returned, and it's just really weird. I saw something like a friend was like, oh, well, this is probably just like a false flag thing. It's like, no, the whole idea of NFTs is to be impervious to theft and everything like that. And it is entirely believable that crypto bros would just fall for something like this.
Not the crypto bros. They're so smart. They're filling my inbox on Instagram to buy Bitcoin and NFTs and something called a shake weight. I don't know why I want it, but apparently I'm told I want it. Listen, man, what you do on the Citadel is totally fine, but you do that on your own program, okay?
I'm illustrating.
But
That's
so,
bubbly.
but so,
I don't know how I
but
feel
wait,
about
Boater, how are the people to get back their NFTs?
that. They're fucked. Because, of course, once a transaction is on the blockchain, it can't be undone.
Oh no! Oh, that's terrible news. I'm just so sad for all those people who spent so many millions of dollars. Oh God, I love it. It makes me so happy, and it shouldn't, but it does.
I hope beyond hope, I wish beyond wishes that this is the year that NFTs die. And that cryptocurrency in general just tanks so hard. Oh no, says Dudicarus, they gotta screenshot their own NFTs.
No, Dudicarus, that's not how NFTs work. Because if you don't own, like, that's what they all divulge into, by the way. If you ever talk to someone trying to sell you NFTs, it just turns into this motion a lot.
Yeah. That's how it works because I say that's how it works. It has value because I say it has value. Yeah, and a lot of other people say it doesn't. That's why crypto tanked really fucking hard last week.
Oh, I just...
Take that fear, uncertainty, doubt, and shove it up your asshole.
Boater, you know that adage we use all the time for people that are banned on Twitch? I think it applies here of, buy stupid things, win stupid prizes. The millions of dollars people have
Somebody's
spent
well on their way to finding out. What was that? Oh, they tested that assumption.
at their earliest convenience. Yep. Oh, I
They
fucking
said,
love it.
Oh, NFTs cannot be stolen. Quite the assumption you've made there. Be a shame if it got tested.
I love that. I love that to no end, and I love that people that are apparently so into cyber anonymity and things like that potentially signed away personal possessions of theirs through just what has to be sheer ignorance
Yeah.
of what you're agreeing to.
And how things actually work, which is just how it goes. Yeah.
Just mwah, mwah. Thank you.
Magnifique. What you got, buddy? That's NFTs. Thankfully it wasn't a company saying, "Yo, we want in on that shit." It was, here's some stuff that happened. And again, we aren't going to be able to cover every little thing that happens. If you want to know crypto and so forth and the blockchain is very much tied into a technology that is referred to by proponents as Web3. And if you ever want to see the latest news and how that's going, just go to the website. Web3 is doing just great. It's fantastic. Let me double check that URL while you go ahead with the next topic.
So, we've all been here, and we've all been in a situation where you're playing a video game and you hear someone call out to you. They want your attention. They need your attention to be otherwise diverted from the game itself. But you can't pause an online game, Mom. You can't stop in the middle of a cutscene, unless it's a Kojima game, in which case they're 4.5 hours long and they pause. Thank you, Mr. Kojima, for that. And all these things.
Sorry, the site is web3isgoinggreat.com, called Web3 is Going Just Great.
Yeah.
And the most recent update, Coinbase CEO tries to weave a compelling story about how their own team came up with a Super Bowl ad that, quote, broke the rules on marketing, and it's quickly revealed to be just taking credit for the work of an outside ad agency. Ha! What? What's that? Claiming credit for other people's work in my Web3? It's more likely than you think.
God, I enjoy that we're laughing at crypto bros now so that we can laugh even harder at them in 10, 15, 20, 30, 35, 40 years.
Minutes. Continue. Anyway, sorry.
So we've all been there. You can't pause
Yep.
the game. The
Yep.
moment's calling for you. Something's happening.
You gotta whiz something.
But the Cleveland Cavaliers coach attempted to get his player, Jarrett Allen's, attention because he had some very important news, legacy-making news for him. But dude was playing Arceus and could not be bothered to respond. And so the coach had to go to him to tell him, by the way, you've been selected for the All-Star game, which is a metric that follows your career forever and is used to talk about your legacy. And he quite literally, the Cleveland Cavaliers have tweeted about this. So if you haven't seen it, if you have no idea what we're talking about and you want something really funny, go to the Cleveland Cavaliers Twitter and find the video. The dude is literally playing the Switch. The coach comes over and tells him, hey, you got selected for the All-Star game. Congratulations. And everybody's like reaching out to high five and this, that, and the other. And he literally one-hand high fives everybody while he's still paying attention to the game. And then goes immediately back to playing it after everyone leaves him alone.
Legend. Absolute legend.
It's such a good blending of sports that I like and moments that I can relate to. It's so good. It was so funny. Jared Allen, if I can get a jersey of yours, I absolutely will. That
Can
move
you
has
sign it
persuaded me.
as your trainer?
Like, I just absolutely loved it, 100% of it. And that story broke. The news came around. And everyone's really excited for him. Congratulations, by the way, on making the second list due to some other players calling out an injury. I won't go too far into sports, as the other sports programs have concluded for the time being. But another big announcement happened, and you couldn't ignore it, was that 2016 final Street Fighter V was announced. It came out, came much fanfare. Same year, we had Super Street Fighter and things like that. And then it was all quiet until this past week, 2022. Boater, math it for me. 2016 to now is
6 years.
6 years of playing that old, tired Street Fighter game. No more! This summer, you will have Street Fighter 6. And more information of that will be oncoming, but they officially announced that it's coming out, and it's going to be awesome. I'm excited. I'm shit at Street Fighter. Mike is going to be awesome at it, and it's going to be cool to see him play it. But that's a majority of the where's Super Street Fighter V Third Strike and Knuckles? You mean and Knuckles Deluxe, Steve?
Let's see here. Do you want to hear some Activision news really quick?
I'm
sorry. Did I cut you off?
No. I would love to.
Good. So for the last almost 20 years, there has been a Call of Duty game every single year. There will not be a new Call of Duty game in 2023.
Really?
Treyarch, who was working on the game that would come out in 2023, that game has been delayed to 2024, as Treyarch is going to be helping another studio with a free-to-play game. It might be working on Warzone more or something, I'm not sure. But Activision Blizzard Inc. will delay a Call of Duty game that has been planned for next year, the first time the franchise will be without an annual mainline release in nearly 2 decades. This is a Bloomberg report that came out today. Details are still kind of filtering their way through various media.
That's going to hurt the console market a lot. Call of Duty is a linchpin game for sales on an annual basis.
Au contraire, I think that's going to help supply catch up to demand. Because now...
No, there's a lot of positives, but ouch! A year without Call of Duty. Ugh.
Every fall since 2005, they put out a new premium entry. This is I'm quoting from Bloomberg here. They regularly top yearly sales charts and have sold more than 400 million units since the series started in 2003. Vanguard didn't meet expectations. This year's game is a new Modern Warfare game that is still expected to come out on time, but next year's is looking to be delayed as the studio is retasked and maybe just refocusing a little bit. Also, they're probably hemorrhaging talent left and right because it's Activision.
I do have one more Activision Blizzard story that's pertinent to now, as opposed to talking about in the future. But the California Department for Fair Employment and Housing got on the horn recently to the local police departments of certain executives of certain companies that we have discussed on this network, not excluding our friend Bobo.
What else can I help you with?
You can face down law enforcement is what you can do.
You have fucked up somehow, Bobo. We're
Somehow.
not privy to what they are looking into and what they are investigating, but my money, Boder, you know what? Can we put a gentlemanly $5 bet on this that I will gladly pay up for?
Sure.
Is that at some point in the legal proceedings in the last what feels like 1,500 years, they said something, or did something, or made a definitive statement about an action that they had taken or not taken, and there's a paper trail that's leading them down a road that's going to get them in some trouble. I will gladly be wrong for it if it is, but if it does, I will also gladly bring us ice cream on a program. Or if I lose, I just won't get the ice cream, and you guys will in the next calendar year. But our boy Bobo and his corporate poker faces, none of them are sweating it. They're saying this is all foot dragging, and it's carrying it on, and muckraking, and all the things you should say.
They're saying all the things they can do to try to keep their golden parachute.
And
I cannot wait.
Cannot wait.
I cannot wait till everything, because right now Microsoft plays nice, and I think I said it last week. Microsoft has to play super nice. We're just patting them on the back. You're doing great, honey. Until the moment that they have all the receipts they need, and then they shove them out the window. That golden parachute, we're just taking a nice big whoosh. Bye-bye.
Can't wait. And the reason, by the way, all of these assumptions on my part are being drawn on are because it's not subpoenaed records of current executives, except for Bobby. It's not executives that have left in the last calendar year. It's executives that left or parachuted out when investigations began and lawsuits began.
Oh.
We're looking at the people who have already leapt from the burning vehicle.
And we're wondering if those people that leapt from the vehicle saw, oh my God, it's on fire, I'm getting out. Or, I hope nobody sees me with this lighter.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what comes of this. And it couldn't happen to a greater fucker, to Bobo. But, yeah, that's our Activision Blizzard news update.
Yep. And that's probably going to have to do us for today. I still had one more topic, but we'll leave that for tabled topics over in Discord, where you can find out about how a guy shut down his town's internet because he tried to enforce some no screen time for his kid.
I do have a story about streamer accessibility advocate announcing some news on Sifu, which I was very excited for, and I'll be definitely posting that article down below and discussing a little bit about it. You too can join in on the action. Down below is a link to the Discord. There's a Nerd Glasses tab. If you see a gaming story that you would like expelled upon, if you would like to sick your reporting podcasters on it, make your voice heard in chat. And of course, as always, during the streams or on the VODs on the YouTube channel down below, we would love for you to continue to be a part of our weekly broadcasting here on Nerd Glasses and on the Sane Games TV as a whole.
For those of you coming back, thank you so much for coming back every single week. For those of you that are new here, if you've tuned in without chatting, welcome. We hope you've enjoyed. The Citadel is on after this, but make sure that you're following to see these shows that you've seen today and plenty of others. Stuff down below for Discord and for merch links and all that.
What are you playing on Citadel next?
I'm going to be playing Spirit of the North. I started playing this 2 weeks ago, expecting it to be awful. And I got in and it just captured my heart. I was like, this is adorable. Its graphics are a little fucky sometimes, but it's cute and adorable, and I'm forgiving it. Because you're playing a little fox, and when he gets out of the water, he goes to dry off, and it's cute. He hops through the snow.
The game put the work in.
It's what Citadel is all about. Okay, here's what's not working, but here's what is, and coming away with an honest score of it. So that is the Citadel. After this, we go offline. We run the set 10 feet that way. There's a 10-minute countdown, and we are live again playing Spirit of the North. So I hope that you'll join me. If not, then thank you for watching today, and we will see you next week right here on the Nerd Glasses podcast, Tuesday, 7:45 usually. Right
Tuesday
here
Cruise Day!
on Insane Games TV. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a good one, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.